Okay. Thank you for allowing me 30 extra seconds to make sure that all my I's were dotted and my T's were crossed. It's your boy, CJ Curry. This is the CJ Curry Show, guys, and it's presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks Daily Fantasy Easy. Easy daily fantasy, all right? All you do is pick 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 of your favorite superstars from your favorite sports, and you guys can win up to 25 times your money. Shout out to PrizePicks for allowing me to bless you guys with promo code Curry, which gets you a 100% instant deposit match all the way up to $100. They're matching you dollar for dollar. Holler if you hear me. Link down in the description of today's video. Go get started on PrizePicks. If you're not already playing, guys, I already dropped a 6-pick entry for you guys who caught my early NBA video. I don't think any of those lines have moved just yet, so once you're done here, all right, once we're done chatting, you could go check out today's video and see what 6 picks that I'm liking, or open up a new tab and go to the channel and watch both my live stream and my video simultaneously, and hit the like button on both if you haven't yet. And make sure you're subscribed and turn those notifications on, because if you did not receive a notification about today's early video, you're missing out on value, my friends. Get in where you fit in. Let's run through the chat real quick. We got Steph 3K in the building. Dave Gutierrez, he's flexing for Flex Friday, and I will flex back, my friend. We can flex together. Kyle Cass says, good morning. Let's flex it. Everyday Fantasy's in the building. Another one of our Patreon members. Patreon's been on an absolute tear this month. Picks that I've posted, yours truly, have hit at over a 69% hit rate. Patreon's just $20 a month, less than 70 cents per day. Okay, you're gonna make your $20 back in a single night. You're gonna make your $20 back, and it's gonna be a free ride. So, great time for you to join Patreon would be tomorrow, 1st of the month, April 1st. If you guys are looking to join a community of friendly folks who are trying to help each other win day in and day out, and who are hitting at a tremendous rate, over 69%. Plus, I post daily cheat sheets for various sports to help you with your player prop research, and I'm doing giveaways, over a dozen risk-free 2-pick power plays given out to Patreon members every single week. Total of about 50 free entries I give away per month to Patreon members. I'm just trying to give. Hit you guys with as much value as one can give for $20 a month, and I appreciate you guys supporting what I do here on YouTube with the content each and every day. Thanks for rocking with me. Seriously, everybody who supports, man, it goes a long way. Let's keep free content free. You guys show your support via Patreon, Super Chat, whatever you guys want to do, and we'll keep helping you out here day in and day out. Who else we got in here? We got Patrick's in the building. Did I win the PrizePicks money the other day, Patrick? I don't think you did, but maybe today's your lucky day. If you commented on yesterday's replay, maybe today's your lucky day. Neville did win. Neville, I haven't forgotten about you. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you that risk-free 2-pick power play. He won recently. D Swizzy's in the building. Dave the Beast won almost $500 yesterday. Well, let's turn that almost into a definite win today. Let's try to do that. Kiara's in the building. T-Bone, shout out to you. Let's go ahead and get into picking a winner from yesterday's comment section. So what I do every day here, I give away a risk-free 2-pick power play on PrizePicks. So we add that 2-pick power play to your account. You get both picks right, you win $100. Easy peasy, right? To qualify for this though, you need to be a subscriber to my channel. You need to also hit the like button on today's video. And then once the replay is done, go to the replay of today's video and then comment your favorite pick, prop, or play of the day. Or you could just say something nice. You could say, you know, good afternoon. Or, Curry, that white PrizePicks hat, that thing's sweet, boy. Where do I get one of those? Okay, so just say anything in the comment section. You got to do those 3 things, though. Be a subscriber, hit the like button, and then comment once the replay goes live, all right? So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner. We got 25 unique comments from yesterday's live podcast, all right? All I got to do now, hit the start button, and it's going to randomly select one of you. Hopefully we don't get a repeat winner, and in this case we don't. We got somebody new. Jared Mosey. I don't know if you're watching live. Maybe you're catching us on the replay, Jared, but you are today's risk-free 2-pick power play winner. So again, I'm going to give you that 2-pick power play. You're going to get both right, and you're going to win $100, all right? That's what's going to happen. So DM me your PrizePicks email address. You can reach me on Twitter at Curry the Creator, or you can reach me in Discord. Links to both down in the description of today's video. But I need your PrizePicks email address, Jared Mosey. So please shoot me that DM and let's get you set up with that risk-free 2-pick power play. I want to put some money in your pocket. $100 on PrizePicks. All right. Shout out to Trill Fate in the building. Ain't seen you in a minute. Where you been, my friend? The Don, long time no see. I see you. Neville, yeah, we said what's up to you. Christian, saying congrats to Jared. We got Jermaine in the building. What's up, Jermaine? You flex, I flex back, Jermaine. And then we got I Am Bino Cartel. I haven't seen you in a minute. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm doing a lot better than I was about a month ago. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you checking in. Almighty Savage, salute to you. All right, so that's what you got. That's what you got, guys. That's your winner. Big Jarrett with the winner. 13 games tonight, my friends. 13 NBA games. That's a whole lot of games. I think I already mentioned. Flex Friday going on today. Risk up to $20 on your first flex entry made after 10:30 p.m. or a.m. Eastern time. And if that $20 entry does not hit, if you do not profit, well, they'll refund that $20 back to your account the very next day. So you really don't lose anything. You're not risking anything. All right. You can win up to $500 when you risk $20 on a 6-pick flex. Like I said, I've already entered in my 6-pick flex of the day, but you got to go check out today's early NBA video to see what I'm playing. All right. Go follow it. Go tail it if you want to tail it before those lines end up moving. All right. Let's run through today's NBA slate real quick. We'll try to make it quick. It's 13 games. OKC and Indiana, 237.5 point total with a 2-point spread. Injury news from this one. SGA, keep an eye on him. It looks like he may not play again. Tyrese Halliburton on the other side may not play. Looks like he's out, actually. Miles Turner, game time decision. So I love the total here. Love the spread. That one should be fun. Toronto and Philadelphia, the rivalry between Embiid and Pascal Siakam. I think it's Cameroon versus the Congo, Republic of Congo. These dudes just go at each other hard whenever they play. Pause. 224 points with a 5-point spread. Injury news for this one. Tobias Harris is listed as a game time decision. Gary Trent Jr. for the Raptors, game time decision. Orlando at Washington tips off at 7 o'clock. This one's got a total of 225 with a 1-point spread. As far as injuries go, Daniel Gafford, game time decision. Both Beal and Kuzma already ruled out, so those guys will not play tonight. Keep an eye on Gafford. Chicago and Charlotte tips off at 7 o'clock as well. 224-point total with a 10-point spread. It's favoring the Bulls here. The Bulls have a few injuries that are more minor. Alex Caruso, Andre Drummond, both game time decisions. Charlotte, we kind of know what's happening with them. They're in full tank mode here. Kelly Oubre, Dennis Smith Jr., both game time decisions. Gordon Hayward's probably more close to being doubtful than probable. And of course, Terry Rozier already out tonight. So that one looks like a blowout. Maybe a first half only style game if you're interested in taking anything from Chicago, Charlotte. Utah at Boston, 7:30 p.m. tip off here. Another big blowout type of game. 13.5-point spread, guys. It's favoring the Boston Celtics with a 232-point total. So be careful taking too many player props from this game, because it does look like it's going to be a runaway where Boston beats the brakes off of the Jazz. All right. Tonight, the music stops. Boston's probably going to whoop them. Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, Jordan Clarkson already ruled out. Kelly Olynyk did not play in the last game. He's listed as a game time decision. Of course, this is I guess you could call it a revenge game for Kelly Olynyk. Once upon a time, he was a Boston Celtic. You guys remember that, right? Boston not really dealing with any crazy injuries here. So the biggest risk here is the fact that this game's probably going to blow out. So take a first half only play if you want to take anything. Otherwise, you might want to leave this one alone. New York at Cleveland, 7:30 tip-off, 221 points, 3.5-point spread. We got Julius Randle, big news there. New York Knicks ruled out, no Julius Randle, so Obi Toppin is projected to slide into the power forward spot and in the starting lineup. So you'll see Jalen Brunson probably get a nice bump. Quentin Grimes has been balling, y'all. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Quentin Grimes has been very hot lately. You got RJ Barrett and then obviously Mitchell Robinson to go along with Obi Obi-Wan Kenobi. Cleveland, Jared Allen, game time decision. He's looking closer to doubtful than probable tonight. Outside of him, Isaac Okoro's already ruled out. These other guys don't really matter all that much. That one's got a pretty low total of 221 with a 3.5 point spread. Moving it on to Atlanta at Brooklyn. Now this one's got a potential for fireworks. There's a reason why I put Mikal Bridges as our thumbnail player of the day, right? 240.5 points is the projected total between these two ball clubs with a 1.5 point spread. So you want to talk about overs, you want to talk about firework potential. This game's got all the makings for that, okay? The only injury news that's really significant at this moment, DeAndre Hunter's listed as a game time decision. Outside of that, everybody's pretty much healthy on both sides of the ball here. Atlanta's fighting for their playoff lives at 38-38. And Brooklyn already sitting comfortably there as like a 6th seed, I believe. So this one's going to be a fun one to play some props on. Detroit at Houston, two of the worst teams in the league. They're battling for the bottom. These guys both want to lose really bad. Detroit's currently got the advantage at 16-60, where Houston's sitting at 18-59. Both of these guys could benefit from one of the top 2 draft picks. I think Houston, better fit for them would be Victor Wembanyama. Detroit could really use Victor Wembanyama as well. They're pretty guard heavy. Both of these teams are guard heavy. I don't think either one of them really would want Scoot Henderson, but we'll see what happens. 228.5 points, though, with a 6.5 point spread. Keep an eye on the Pistons. Killian Hayes, game time decision. He'll probably sit if Detroit thinks that they benefit from him playing. They don't want to win this game. They want to lose, okay? 16-60. They can't afford to give up any ground to one of the other terrible teams in the NBA, the Houston Rockets at 18-59, right? They want to lose this game. So if Killian Hayes sits, I won't be surprised. Not one bit. As far as injuries on the Houston Rockets, you got Kenyon Martin Jr. listed as a game time decision. Moving on to the next game, 8 p.m. tip-off, Los Angeles Lakers, Minnesota T-Wolves. All right, 232.5 points, guys. Nice total from this game. Just a 5-point spread. We love 5-point spreads. Neither one of these teams wanted Patrick Beverley anymore. R.I.P. Patrick Beverley. No longer a T-Wolf or a Laker. This guy's moved on. He's moved on a lot. More than Scottie Pippen's ex-wife has moved on, right? My bad, Scotty. As far as injuries go, Los Angeles Lakers are going to be without Mo Bamba. He's missed the last few games. LeBron James is listed as a game time decision. Looks like AD and Scottie Pippen Jr., speaking of Pip, game time decision as well. Minnesota Timberwolves, they've got themselves a number of pending injuries for us to kind of keep an eye out on. It looks like Kyle Anderson, Anthony Edwards, and Karl Anthony Towns are game time decisions, but more likely to play than to sit. You got Noel, Prince, and Rivers listed as game time decisions, as is Matt Ryan. No, not that Matt Ryan. Not the 28-3 Matt Ryan. That's a different Matt Ryan, all right? This Matt Ryan is not going to be a major factor. But what is potentially a major factor is Naz Reid. He is out tonight for the Minnesota Timberwolves, all right? So you got 232.5 on the board here with a 5-point spread. There's going to be a lot of player prop goodness oozing from this game. 8 o'clock also brings us the Clippers and Memphis Grizzlies. Guys, go check out my early video. I like Jaren Jackson Jr., and I'm not going to say any more than that. That's just a teaser, a spoiler alert. 235.5 points with this game, 6.5 point spread. It looks like Memphis is expected to win this one. Kawhi Leonard, game time decision. The claw, we're not sure if he's in or out yet, so that is a injury situation to monitor and stay on top of. And then Paul George, Marcus Morris already ruled out. So that's what you got to look forward to from that one. Moving on to 10 o'clock, we're getting into the late night tip. 242 point total, but the big red flag here, 17.5 point spread. Golden State, 17.5 point spread. You want to talk about teams that want to lose? It's the San Antonio Spurs. Who could use Victor Wembanyama more than the Spurs right now? I mean, seriously, you look at their front court situation, it's pretty bad. They moved Jakob Poeltl. It's like they're already clearing out a spot for Victor Wembanyama to come to the San Antonio Spurs. And San Antonio's had some success with foreign-born players before, right? It would just be the perfect scenario if Victor Wembanyama ended up as a San Antonio Spur with Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson flanking him on either side. What a team, right? What a team. I'm painting a beautiful picture if you're a Spurs fan. As far as injuries go, speaking of Keldon Johnson, he is listed as a game time decision. Devin Vassell, game time decision. And Romeo Langford, GTD as well. Looks like Dougie McBuckets, Doug McDermott, expected to play. No Jeremy Sohan, he is out. Zach Collins also out. So the Spurs are going to be pretty short-handed in that front court. Victor Wembanyama, where you at? Come to San Antonio. I think that would be a good look. So be careful with that one. Big blowout risk there with a 17.5-point spread. Moving on to 10 o'clock. Sacramento and Portland. Talk about another team that's pulled the plug on their regular season and their playoff hopes. It's the Portland Trail Blazers. No Damian Lillard tonight. He's going to be out and shut down for the season. Simons, Nurkic, Jeremy Grant, they're shutting down everybody. All their valuable assets and players will not play tonight. So you're going to get the likes of Cam Reddish, Nazir Little, Kevin Knox, Shaedon Sharpe, Drew Eubanks. I mean, just the cream of the crop, right? The cream of the crop. Domantas Sabonis here in a pretty good spot. We mentioned one of his props today in the early NBA video. So again, go check that out if you haven't yet. 14-point spread. We just saw these two teams play one game ago, I think, and it wasn't pretty for the Portland Trail Blazers. Denver at Phoenix, 226.5 points, 9.5-point spread. Guys, Phoenix is favored here by nearly 10 points over the Denver Nuggets, and a lot of that has to do with the availability of three key players for the Denver Nuggets. I'm talking about Nikola Jokic, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Jamal Murray. Now, of the three, it looks like Jamal Murray is the one that is most likely to play. Joker did sit out in the last game, but he is battling for an MVP award, right? He'd like to win that MVP. We know Embiid's probably going to play tonight. It seems like it's a two-man race for the MVP award. Jokic has to get his butt out there, okay? He has to get his butt out there if he really wants to win this MVP award, and he has to play well going up against DeAndre Ayton, Kevin Durant. Yes, Durant is back for Phoenix. They said his minutes were limited. He still did pretty good things out there with the minutes that he did play. And then you got Devin Booker, CP3. So that one's going to be a fun game as well. That's your 13-game NBA slate in a nutshell. I tried to make it quick. I tried to make it snappy for you guys. Hey, if you guys have any questions, you guys need to go ahead and hit me with them. I'm here to help you with your player prop research. I'm here to take your questions. I'm not going to guarantee that I get to everybody's question, but if you do want to guarantee that I see your question and you want to be featured on today's video podcast, consider using the super chat functionality. You see your live chat window here. Those of you who are watching live on YouTube, there's a little $sign. You click that for as little as $1.99 right now, guys. I'll give you one-on-one support, one-on-one with the great one on your player prop questions, and I'm here to help you with that, all right? And you can feel good. You can feel good about supporting the channel. Terrell's saying, no baseball plays today? Listen, Terrell, it is a small MLB slate right now. To be honest with you, a lot of stuff has already been bumped up, bumped down. PrizePicks has been on their A game when it comes to MLB. Yesterday's MLB video, though, if you guys tailed those picks, we went 4 for 5 on some MLB, doubling our dollars instantly, okay? So yes, I will have more MLB content, but today's not that day. It's just not looking like a great day for baseball, but if you're in the Patreon, if you guys are a part of that, I will be posting more plays if I find any for baseball, basketball, etc. All right, we got Robert Chesney in the building. He's hitting me with the Wagwan, CJ. Wagwan back to you, Robert Chesney. Hope I'm saying that right. Neville knows if I'm hitting it or not. Am I hitting it right, Neville? Wagwan. Who else we got in here? Some other folks just joining. Papa's already leaving us some kind words. He's saying good stuff you're doing here, CJ. Papa, I appreciate you. I got 6 picks already posted for today's earlier video. Plenty of plays today though, guys, with 13 games. And again, we're looking at Flex Friday, right? Free entry, essentially $20 entry, risk-free. You guys don't have to worry about losing any money on that. Jermaine's hitting us with a first half play. Let's look at this one for Mr. Jermaine here. Jermaine wants to know, what about Evan Mobley? Well, we talked about his big man, his teammate, Jared Allen. Looks like he's going to sit out tonight. So Jared Allen being out, maybe that helps Evan Mobley just a little bit. Guys, Props.cash is fantastic for doing first half only prop research. If you don't use Props.cash yet, you should be. You should be if you want to save yourself some time, some headache. I'm going to show you how easy it is. So you go to New York and Cleveland, right? You go down, you find Evan Mobley, you click his name. All right, you got the full game logs here, all his game logs for the entire season. Now, you got this section called game splits. I'm going to go from full to 1H, meaning first half only. So when I click on that, right, we could go down here and take a look at Evan Mobley's first half only line. Now, I don't know what that is, so let me go over to PrizePicks real quick and see what's good with that. Evan Mobley, first half, 9.5 points is what it looks like, okay? 9.5 points is the points line. You've got 16.5 on the PRA. We'll look at both. While we're here, we'll look at both of them. So at 9.5 points, you can see Evan Mobley, 26 for 75, just a 35% hit rate overall, okay? But we talked about Jared Allen being out. That's one thing for us to kind of consider. If we look at Evan Mobley here in the last like 10 games or so, he's actually done a pretty decent job in the last like 5 to 6 to 7 games. With this 9.5 first half point prop. I mean, 14 against Charlotte, 13 and 12 against Brooklyn, 12 against Houston, and 14 against Atlanta. Now, I will admit, those are some pretty soft matchups here. So he wasn't really facing a formidable foe. Maybe Mitchell Robinson gives him some problems tonight. It'll probably be Mitchell Robinson and Evan Mobley matched up, right? Without Julius Randle in there, without Jared Allen in there, Mobley will probably slide over to the center spot and be matched up with Mitchell Robinson. So are you afraid of Mitchell Robinson's defense? That's the question you should be asking yourself. Does Mitchell Robinson put the clamps on Evan Mobley tonight? Possibly. I mean, these are the 3 first half games for Evan Mobley this season against the New York Knicks, right? 6 points, 6 points, and 2 points. It's not like he's been going off against the New York Knicks, especially not in the first quarter. 6, 6, and 2. Not even close to sniffing 10 points, which is what you would need him to sniff if you decide to take the over on his first half points at 9.5. All right, let me look at something, though. Before we go saying, nah, it's a fade, or nah, I'm not going to take it, we're going to do something here where we're going to go to this games without option. We're going to take Jared Allen out and see if this first half points per game average for Evan Mobley goes up or down. Right now he's at 8.2. If we take Allen out, it goes up a bit to 8.8. Now let's look at the last 10 games. We'll go 10 games. Last 10 games without Jared Allen, he's hit the over in 5 out of 10. That's a 50% hit rate. Doing so against Detroit, Toronto, Philadelphia, Charlotte, and Atlanta. So 5 for 10. That's basically a coin flip. Played 1 game against the New York Knicks without Jared Allen back on December 4th this season. 6 first half points against the Knicks in that one on the road in New York. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of information on that pick. I don't know that I like it all that much, Jermaine. You let me know. Are you liking it more or less now that you kind of got some information about it? I think I'm liking it less, personally. I think there's better options. On a 13-game slate, guys, I think there's better options. D Swizzy getting some chuckles, getting some laughs in. He liked that little pause. He says he's been seeing a lot of Pascal Siakam over rebounds and assists. He's also liking Quentin Grimes over points and John Collins over PRA. All right, I ain't going to tackle all of these just due to the amount of questions that I've got posted here in this live chat, but I'm going to take one of them. Let's talk about Pascal Siakam real quick, because I mentioned to you guys, when him and Embiid lock up, boy, Pascal Siakam really, he goes off typically when he plays against the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid. So you want to look at the rebounds and assists on Pascal Siakam. Let's go look at them. RA is the category you want to go to. 12.5 looks like the line for Pascal Siakam. I mentioned to you guys before, when he plays Joel Embiid in the Philadelphia 76ers, this is what happens here. At a line of 12.5 rebounds and assists, my boy Pascal Siakam, aka Spicy P, 18, 16, and 21. I'm telling y'all, there's something about when he plays Embiid, it brings out the best in Pascal Siakam. So yes, 3 for 3 against Philadelphia and Joel Embiid. We can even go back to last season. I mean, just look at these game logs here. On the rebounds and assists, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of his last 12 games dating back to last season. He's gone over his rebounds and assists against Joel Embiid. I mean, is this something or nothing? You guys think this is anything? Him and Siakam and Embiid, when they get together, that, you know, Siakam just balls out? I think it's something. I think there's something to this. Let's go ahead and refresh the Daily Grind Fantasy PrizePicks Optimizer. That is not first half. That is full game. Full game. Yeah, full game. Rebounds and assists for Pascal Siakam, 12.5. He's hit this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of his last 12 against Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. I think it's something, right? I don't think it's like completely nothing. I don't think it's coincidence that Pascal Siakam does what he does when he faces off against Embiid. You guys pay attention. This is a good little rivalry here. We want to know, though, is this play a plus EV play, right? You hear me talk about plus EV. Is this a plus expected value play, a positive expected value play? Well, he's at 12.5 rebounds and assists here on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. 51% chance that this hits. Okay, so it is plus EV. A slight plus EV play at a little over 1% in our favor at 12.5 rebounds and assists. So let's get you a projection on this real quick. We're going to take a look at some of these projection sites and see how Siakam's stacking up today. Got him projected for about 12 rebounds and assists. That's close to 12 to 13, right? In that same neck of the woods, same neighborhood. And I'm going to check one more for you real quick. Pascal Siakam's rebounds and assists, 12.5, projected for 13.7 on this model. So you got a range of like 12 to about 13.7 projected rebounds and assists. Slight plus EV play. I think for me, just based on historical hit rates alone here about, you know, against the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid, I mean, I think it's worth taking a shot on right here. Right? I mean, I think we got something here with Pascal Siakam. So let's get Evan Mobley out of there. Let's go back to the NBA category. Let's punch in Siakam. I think he's worth a roll of the dice tonight at 12.5 rebounds and assists. Again, just based on what he's done, 3 for 3 against Philadelphia this season. I mean, what did I say? 10 out of his last 12 games against Philadelphia and Joel Embiid. This is like one of those situations where narrative, like the narrative type of situation where these guys just kind of like play harder against one another, where this could be a good narrative play. So there you go. That could be your first one. What else we got here? I want to go through the chat and see if anybody else has any good plays you want me to take a look at. Yep, no Randall, just Mitchell. But Mitchell versus Mobley could be a problem for Mobley, I think. I think Mitchell's defense is kind of underrated. YAABJ's mentioning Mitchell Robinson for 5.5 points. Let's take a look real quick at Mitchell Robinson at 5.5 points. Now, I'm not playing this unless it is a plus EV play. If it ain't plus EV, I don't want it. All right. So let's take a look at it real quick. We're going to go to Mitchell Robinson at 5.5 points. He has hit the over in 33 out of 55 games this season, 60% hit rate. I think his matchup's going to be a little easier tonight without Jared Allen in there. Evan Mobley, good defender, but not Jared Allen good as far as defense goes, in my opinion. All right, so 60% hit rate at 5.5 points. He's had some struggles against Cleveland with 4 and 5 points in previous matchups. But the big news here, somebody already alluded to, is that we're not going to have Julius Randle tonight. So Mitchell Robinson's averaging 7.2 points per game. Let's see what happens when we take Julius Randle out of the mix, right? Does this average 7.2 go up or down? It goes up. Now, surprisingly, these are all games from last season. I guess Mitchell Robinson has not played a game this season without Julius Randle. These are all from last season. So I don't want you guys to get too excited here. I mean, last season was last season. They didn't have Jalen Brunson. Quentin Grimes wasn't really doing what he's doing now. And so it's a little different scenario. But 5 out of his last 5 games that he's played without Julius Randle, he's gone for 7 or more points. So him getting 3 buckets tonight, against a weakened Cleveland Cavaliers front court may not be impossible. It may be something that we should look into a little bit further. And for that, we will look into it a little bit further by going to the optimizer. I want to know if this is a plus EV play or not. Let me see if I got any Mitchell Robinson. Nothing about Mitchell Robinson yet. Let's refresh. Maybe Mitchell Robinson's lines aren't available on any sports books or on PrizePicks just yet. But he could be somebody to look out for when they are added. Assuming he's added at about 5.5 points like we're seeing him here. Well, I can't find anything on the optimizer about Mitchell Robinson just yet. Let me see if they have him out on the sports books. They do. Guys, at 5.5 points. BetMGM has him up at 5.5. Maybe it's just a matter of time before PrizePicks adds him. But he is projected for 6.8 points tonight on a line of 5.5. So again, if PrizePicks puts him up and he's at like 5.5, I think we're in pretty good shape to take an over on Mitchell Robinson. The only Mitchell Robinson prop that I'm seeing at the moment are his free throw makes. They're listed at 0.5 on PrizePicks. 1.1 is his projected free throw make, so you could go that way if you want. Cade says he's sorry that you're late. You're not late, Cade. You're right on time, buddy. Everybody's got stuff going on. You're right on time. But yeah, YAABJ or YABJ, however you want to say that. Mitchell Robinson at 5.5 points could be a very tempting option tonight if we get him. All right. Almighty Savage Gaming says, I took your 6 pick earlier. Let's get this money. Well, congratulations. Hopefully those lines are still stable and they have not moved up or down. Hopefully you guys were able to kind of secure some of those value plays for your first entry of the day. Risk-free, $20 today on PrizePicks. Cool Whip. I like that, man. Cool Whip. Are you like the dessert Cool Whip, or do you have a cool car? Cool Whip. Either way, like the name. Tatum under 9 rebounds is Cool Whip's question. Let's go take a look at Jason Tatum here. First and foremost, I need to know, is this a plus EV play? You're going to probably get sick of me asking that question, but it's a question that needs to be answered before you play anything on PrizePicks. And you know, fortunately for us, the Daily Growing Fantasy Optimizer helps answering those questions makes it easy to answer those questions. It's about a 50% chance, okay? So this is like a true coin flip style play. Jason Tatum at 9 rebounds. 50.02 to be exact chance for him to go over. So a little bit better than a coin flip. You can reach into your pocket right now, flip a quarter, all right, to help you decide on this prop, basically, is what they're saying. I got Tatum projected for 8.6 rebounds. He's a huge betting favorite over at 8.5 boards on your sports book. So PrizePicks went ahead and took liberty and bumped him up to 9 boards. I don't have a projection for him on this site, but 8.6 boards on a line of 9. You might want to stay away from that one. Again, on a 12-game slate, or 13-game slate, there's just so many ways to go here. I think we could do better. I'm scrolling through, get my scroll on. I want to get to as many questions as possible. Again, there's going to be some questions that I just skip over. It's nothing personal. You guys don't get in your feelings, okay? I'm just one guy. There's 1,000 questions in the chat. If you really need an answer, that's where that super chat function comes in. Highlights your question, guarantees one-on-one support from yours truly right here on the live stream. So that would be your best friend to get your question answered. If you have one, it is a hard-hitting question that you definitely need an answer to. So Tim's coming through. Tim's asking about, what about Denny Adija over points, rebounds, and assists? What about him? Let's go look at it real quick. We got Denny, Washington Wizards. We already talked about Kyle Kuzma, Bradley Beal being out, maybe even Daniel Gafford, who's listed as a game time decision. He could be out as well. So it looks like Tim Sexton's wanting to go with the over here on Adija at 29 points, rebounds, and assists. This is a plus EV play at nearly 53% for him to go over according to the optimizer here. So let's go take a look here at a projection on Denny. Denny is projected for about 27.3 on this particular model. Again, his line is sitting up there at 29, kind of high, but we did talk about some of the guys that are going to be out for Washington. So not impossible, but it is high for a guy who's typically known as a role player. And then here I got him projected for about 23.3. So I got 2 projection models that I trust that have helped me get to a 69% hit rate on mostly NBA picks this season. or this month rather. These models are trusted. They have them both projected for less than 29. So for me, I know it says it's a plus EV play to go over at 29, but the fact that the projections aren't rocking with the way that the optimizer's telling us to go, I'm just going to walk away from it. There's just too many games, too many props today on the board for me to roll the dice on something that's not projecting well, if that makes sense, Tim. Too many other good plays out there. What else we got? We got Caesar mentioning Domantas Sabonis first half points. It was at 8.5, and it's now been bumped up to 10.5. That's a pretty significant jump, 2 whole points. T-Bone's liking some Pascal Siakam. He's wanting to go first half on the PRA for Pascal Siakam. Let's go look at that one. I have not looked at Siakam for first half. We already mentioned that Siakam's rebounds and assists against Embiid and these Sixers looks too sweet. He has been hitting at a very high clip in games played against Embiid. There's just something about when those two fellas get together, they bring out the best in one another. So Siakam first half PRA, you want to go over on that. Again, we're using props.cash. Some of you are seeing props.cash for the first time and you're wondering, where are all these graphs coming from? These green bars, these red bars, these gray bars. It's called props.cash. And I could save you 25% off your first month. Use code Curry. Check down in the description of today's video for links to everything. If you want to try out the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer and save some money, again, code Curry on that. PrizePicks, code Curry. Props.cash, code Curry. It's code Curry. We're taking over the world with freaking code Curry. All right, moving on down here, taking a look at Pascal Siakam. You're liking the PRA on Siakam. Let's go pull the lineup here real quick. First half only PRA, Pascal Siakam, he's sitting at 17.5 first half PRA. So let's plug this in, make sure we got the right line pulled up here. First half PRA, 17.5. It's been a little shaky. I mean, toward the first half of the season, the first like 30 games or so, I mean, he was smashing the over at 17.5 first half PRA. But, I mean, you can kind of see it for yourself, right? Good visual here. The first like 30 games or so, a lot of green beans in there. Since then, a lot less green beans in there for Spicy P. But what's been going on here over the last 10 games? Well, he's like 5 for 10, 50% at 17.5. The last 5 games, 3 for 5, 60% there as well. So it's not looking great. But again, when you go and take a look at what he does when he plays against Philadelphia, it's the same story, right? He's hit 3 out of 3 times against Philly this season. Now, you don't have to go first half only. I don't think this game with just a 5-point spread is one where you have to worry about a blowout risk. At a 5-point spread, you could go full game like we talked about on the rebounds and assists or whatever your favorite Pascal Siakam prop is. You could do that. I don't think you have to go first half only here. Taking a look at Siakam's first half PRA against the Philadelphia 76ers. My, oh my. For those who like the color green, this one's for you. He's hit the over against Philadelphia dating back to last season in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games out of 12 games. 11 out of 12 dating back to last season. 3 for 3 this season going up against Philadelphia and Joel Embiid. I'm telling y'all, there's something to this. There's something to this Siakam versus Embiid thing. We're going to get to the bottom of it. I think the numbers kind of speak for themselves. So yeah, T-Bone, I don't think that is a terrible option, but I don't think you have to go there if you don't want to. You could go full game on Pascal Siakam. He's done really well in a lot of categories against Philly. Jeremiah's coming through. He's asking about Quentin Grimes. We already talked about Julius Randle's out tonight for the New York Knicks, meaning Quentin Grimes, Jalen Brunson, probably some RJ Barrett, right? These guys are going to be thrust into a larger role. There's going to be more usage that opens up for these guys to absorb without a usage monster like Julius Randle out on the floor. So somebody's going to have to step up in the wake of Julius Randle being absent tonight. So let's take a look here at this one. First and foremost, does it pass the plus EV check or nah? Let's go look. Quentin Grimes 3-point makes. According to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer at 2.5 3-point makes on PrizePicks, we should be taking the under, not the over, Jeremiah. So I don't know which way you were wanting to go. You did not specify, but this has about a 54% chance for Quentin Grimes to stay under 3-point makes tonight. So now that we know that is a plus EV play for the under, let's go see if it's projecting well or not. Well, we got a projection of 2.7 here. So that's one projection. Let's go check another one. I like to check 2 or 3 different models. And in this case, they've got him at a projection of about 2 3-point makes. So anywhere from 2 to 2.7 3-point makes on a line of 2.5. Again, the optimizer is suggesting we play the under. But I think if you know me by now, when the projections don't vibe with the way that the optimizer is suggesting we go, I just kind of back away, especially on a 13-game NBA slate where there's 1,000 props or more probably for us to play. So, Jeremiah, it's a fade for me. I'm leaving it. Okay? I'm leaving it. Liner Weiner or Liner Wiener, whatever you go by. SGA is listed as questionable now. Yeah, I don't think he's going to play tonight. I don't know what OKC's doing. I don't know if they want to make the playoffs or not, or if SGA is like truly hurt and laboring over something, but he's been sitting out, and they are still very much in the playoff picture here. Taking a look at that real quick. For those of you who are curious creatures, right? OKC sitting on the bubble, basically 38 and 39. 10th seed at this moment. So they're still in the playoff hunt. I don't know if they want to be in the playoffs or not. I'm really not sure. It seems like they don't want to be. I mean, unless SGA is like really hampered by something, but I don't know. But that's your playoff picture. That's kind of weird. Anyway, Kyle's coming through with a couple of different options. He says, what about Lou Dort for rebounds or OG Anunoby's points? Let's take OG Anunoby, since the status of SGA kind of still up in the air with him being questionable or whatever. That could impact Dort. So I think we could go like OG Anunoby points and look at that one first and foremost. So Anunoby, Toronto Raptors, again going up against the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. OG's point line is 15.5. He's got about a 51.5% chance to go under at 15.5. So you're wanting to take the over. I'm going to tell you this, that you would be going against the grain, against the odds if you took the over on OG Anunoby, because it is not projected favorably. The odds are not in your favor. In other words, 51.5% chance that he goes under 15.5 points tonight. So just want to throw that out there. I want to make sure that you're not putting your money in working against the system, so to speak. In this case, I have a projection of about 14.7 for OG Anunoby. That's one model for you. Looking at another one here, projected for about 15.5, which is where his line is at. So for me, I'm probably just going to stay away, but if you were to take this any which way, it seems like you would want to take it under rather than over, Kyle. Let's see here. Brian Williams asking, what about some Bron rebounds and assists? Do we have a true, outlook on LeBron James tonight? Is he playing or is he not? Because as of now, it looks like he is a game time decision going up against Minnesota tonight. Says he's questionable, still dealing with that foot. We know we've seen him like questionable a lot over the last couple of seasons, and usually when he's questionable, he ends up playing. So right now he's listed questionable, game time decision. I don't know if he's going to play or not. So you could put this in now if you're liking it, but there's also a chance that he sits out and then that pick ends up becoming a DNP, and maybe your 6 pick ends up as a 5 pick, 5 becomes a 4, etc., etc. So there's a little bit of risk with locking in something a little bit too early. A little bit too early. But you're asking about the rebounds and assists. Let's look at it real quick. Let's see if we have any information or intel here on LeBron James. LeBron James, 13.5 rebounds and assists is his line. The optimizer suggesting an underplay on this one at about a 51% chance that he stays under at 13.5. So were you wanting to go over or under, Brian? Because I don't think you really specified there. Maybe you were talking about going under on LeBron James. Let's go look at something here. Let's pull up some projections here, okay? Got him projected for 11.5 rebounds and assists. That is less than 13.5. That is significantly less, in fact. 2 whole rebounds and assists less than his line, sitting at 13.5. So again, these projections usually are pretty on point. Pretty on point. Let's get you another one here. LeBron rebounds and assists, 13.5 projected for 14. All right, so you got one end of the spectrum where he's projected for 2 rebounds and assists less than 13.5, and you got one where he's barely projected to go over at 13.5 rebounds and assists. Again, I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm looking for a better play than that. But if you feel good about it, I'm not here to talk you off of or into anything. Trust your research, man. Trust your process, okay? I'm just telling you what my process is. It's led to about a 70% freaking hit rate this month on these NBA props. Being picky, choosy, all right? Dave the Beast is talking Spencer Dinwiddie for 28.5 points plus assists. He's wanting to go over. Well, let's continue to refresh the optimizer here on Daily Grind Fantasy's website, their PrizePicks optimizer, because I want the latest odds, right? I want all the newest information to be pulled in. I want to be up to date on the odds out on the different sports books. Spencer Dinwiddie right now's points and assists line is 28.5. It doesn't look like it's going to pass the plus EV test for me. In other words, if you wanted to take the over at 28.5 points and assist, you'd have about a 50%, 50.1% to be exact, chance that he goes over. So it's almost a coin flip. And again, I'm looking for something better than a coin flip, because long term, those little 3%, 4%, 5% edges in our favor are going to add up over the long term, over the course of like a year or 2 years or 5 years. Those 3 and 4 and 5% edges that the optimizer's pointing out to us, they're going to add up over time. We're going to be profitable bettors that way. And that's what we want, right? So in this case, I mean, it's not looking great. It's more of a coin flip play. I mean, literally anything could happen. He could go over. He could also very much go under according to the odds here. So you're liking it. The projections are liking it. They got him at 29.7 points and assists. So there's one favorable projection if you're thinking about going over on Spencer Dinwiddie. Here's another one, 28.5 projected for 29.2. So 2 projection sites that I like, that I trust and that I use daily, do have Spencer Dinwiddie for more than 28.5. Again, for me, I'm just a little bit more picky. All right. I ain't got no type, but plus EV plays is the only thing that I like. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Joel's saying that Joel, you got me calling you Joel. I don't know if it's Joel or Joel Embiid. Anyway, he's saying it's a big game for the Lakers. You kind of saw what's going on with the standings, right? LA sitting at 9, OKC sitting at 10. If the play-in tournament were to start today, the Lakers would be in the playoff play-in tournament. So could be a big game. Probably will see LeBron give it a go. I mean, honestly, I think if their playoff hopes are on the line here, that LeBron will get in there. We got to find some more picks though. So far, I think these are your best 2 options. You got Pascal Siakam over 12.5 rebounds and assists. Again, this is more of a historical play. It is a slight plus EV play. It's not projecting like out of this world, but I'm just riding with this because of what I showed you guys. Like Siakam is just a dog. He's a man possessed when he plays against Joel Embiid. So either one of these both look very good just based on what Siakam has done in previous games against the Sixers. Okay. Trying to get caught up here. Look at some of your other questions. Unique Carter says, what's up, CJ? How's your day been? Day's been very productive. We've already knocked out a 6-pick flex play on today's first look video. You guys go check that out real quick. Scotty Barnes is sitting at 0.5 3-point makes. 0.5 3-point makes. Where is he at? I thought I saw him on the board. Is he no longer on the board? I guess they got rid of it. Let me refresh here. Maybe I'm missing something. Did they pull it? Thought I saw him earlier. No, he's not up there anymore. Scotty Barnes 3-pointers. Yeah, I thought this was up on the board. It's not on the board anymore. Maybe they pulled it. Maybe they think Scotty Barnes is going to knock down a 3. But you asked about it. Let me see if I can get you some information on it real quick. Even though it's not on PrizePicks apparently. Yeah, it's a -150 on BetMGM, -145 on DraftKings Sportsbook for him to knock down at least 1 3-pointer tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. So it's projected for nearly 1 3-point make. He's probably either going to have none or one. He's not going to hit 2, 3, 4, or 5 typically. He's like a DeMar DeRozan, where he'll take a couple, and hopefully you're on the right side of the over there. Kyle saying, damn, he was bumped. Was 14.5. I don't know which pick you're talking about. Cash reminding you guys, Cash Hawks is reminding you to hit the like button. Guys, I don't know if you heard, but I had to take some time away from YouTube, over a month away from YouTube. YouTube didn't like that, apparently. They put me in jail. They didn't come out and say that they were putting me in jail, but I can tell I'm in YouTube jail. In other words, I stopped creating content due to personal family issues, and I kind of feel like I'm getting punished. Low-key, secretly punished. My videos, views are way down because I haven't made or posted anything, or I at the time hadn't posted or made anything in over a month and a half. So they're making me earn their favor again. So guys, keep slapping the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn those notifications on so you don't miss any of the content when it drops here on the tube. Okay, we're gonna get out of this YouTube jail. OG Anunoby was bumped. Was he was bumped up or down? Let me know. D1 Gaming's got one here. He's talking about Quentin Grimes as well. We mentioned Quentin Grimes for his 3-point makes. He's asking about Quentin Grimes over 12.5 points. Yes, he has definitely been going off lately. We already talked about Julius Randle out tonight. No Julius Randle for the New York Knicks. So let's look at Quentin Grimes real quick at 12.5 points. This one's got a 52.5% chance of him going under. Wow. I'm kind of surprised by that. No Randall. Optimizer says, based on the odds, based on how people are betting on these sports books, 52.5% chance that Grimes goes under 12.5 points. So he's not looking good for a 3-point over. He's also not looking good for a point prop over right now. Quentin Grimes looking a little sus. Quentin Grimes looking a little sus. Let's get a projection. 12.7 projected points. Again, being bet under on pretty much every single sports book at 12.5. So that's not good. That doesn't make you feel great when you want to take an under on a or an over on a play, and everybody else in the world seems to be taking the under. I mean, I've got him projected here for about 10.6 points on a line of 12.5. So Quentin Grimes, I can't explain it. Quentin Grimes has been playing well, but this may not be the night for you to take any Quentin Grimes overs. Maybe they think the defense of Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, maybe Karis LeVert, whoever's going to be matched up with Quentin Grimes. I mean, maybe they think that he's going to be slowed down by those guys. I don't know. Defensively, it's not a great matchup. Okay, so there we go. Gmail made this, says PrizePicks took Scotty Barnes 3-point makes off of the board less than 10 minutes ago. Well, congratulations if you were able to get in on the over for Scotty Barnes on that 0.5 3-point make. Cash and a couple other people are asking about Franz Wagner. What's Franz Wagner going to do today? And you guys are wanting to know about his fantasy score, it looks like. We got some Franz Wagner fantasy score options being presented to us tonight. Let's go look at Franz Wagner. 29.5 fantasy score. What happened to the Siakam plays, by the way? Did they pull those? Where did those go? I had Siakam queued up here for, there we go. 12.5 more on his point, or more than 12.5 rebounds and assists for Siakam tonight going up against Philadelphia. All right, back to Wagner. You guys are asking about his fantasy score at 29.5. You're wanting to go over on Wagner at 29.5? Oh, we got some green beans here, Franz Wagner. Wagner's been doing work, averaging 40.1 fantasy score over the last 5 games. 46.1, 33.8, 35.6. You got a 43, a 42.1. Okay, Franz, I see you, my boy. I see you. Is tonight a good night to go over on Franz Wagner's fantasy score? Well, guys, if you don't know by now, PrizePicks, they use the same scoring system as both FanDuel and Yahoo for their fantasy score on basketball, NBA basketball. So if you're looking at projections for Franz Wagner, you want to make sure that you're using FanDuel projections on whatever your favorite projection site is. In this case, I'm a big fan of Fantasy Labs here. So let's take a look at Franz Wagner. I got him projected for 34.1 fantasy score on a line of 29.5. That is a significant advantage in our favor. All right, this projection versus PrizePicks line looking good so far. So that one sharp. What about let's look at number fire real quick. Another free option for you guys who are looking for free projections. Number fire is a good one. 30.5. Again, his line set at 29.5. So that's 2 out of 2 overs. One Fantasy Labs significantly over. Let's go ahead and pull one more projection. A third model to reference here. Franz Wagner's fantasy score 29.5. 28.5 according to RotoWire here. A little bit lower than 29.5. But I think if you were to average those three fantasy scores together, right, aggregating projections, it would be slightly more than the 29.5, right? So yeah, I mean, the fact that he's been hitting the way that he's been hitting here, 5 out of his last 5, averaging over 40 fantasy score per game. Given the opponent tonight, no Kuzma, no Beal, possibly no Gafford, I think the matchup gets maybe a little softer, a little easier for Franz Wagner. So I don't mind you guys taking this. We could take this. That's 2, right? We got Spicy P for 12.5 rebounds and assists, and Franz Wagner's fantasy score at 29.5. Those are both looking good. Scott Timmons, thank you for subscribing to the channel, my friend. Appreciate all the new subs. We had another couple people too. Austin Donley, thank you. Official Watson, thank you. Dave the Beast, love that name. Thank you for subscribing. Burt Brown, appreciate you subscribing as well. We got a super chat coming through. My man, Everyday Fantasies, lacing us with a super chat. He is saying, look at the Chris Paul 1.5 turnover prop for the under. Okay, for the under. Let's look at it. CP3. 9.5 point spread favoring the Phoenix Suns tonight as they take on the Denver Nuggets. My man, Everyday Fantasy, aka Don P. If you guys are in our Discord, our Patreon, you know that Don P is always doing his homework before he puts anything in. So it looks like Everyday Fantasy is wanting to go under here on Chris Paul at 1.5 turnovers. Let's see if this is a plus EV play first and foremost. You punch Chris Paul's name in there. Go and find his turnovers. They're sitting at 1.5. This is saying we should be going over, Don P. Now, I know you're a plus EV type of guy, Don P. Why are we taking the under? That is not plus EV. So you got to let me know. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more in the chat. This is suggesting the over on Chris Paul at 1.5 turnovers has a 52.3% chance of hitting. But you're wanting to go under, huh? All right, let's look at it. See if we got any projections for turnovers here. Chris Paul, turnovers 1.5. I've got him projected for 1.66. That's about a 10% edge in our favor. So there's that. See if I got another one for you. I think Number Fire does turnovers as well. Let's look at that one. Turnovers for CP3, 1.9. So we got a projection of 1.6 to 1.9 turnovers for Chris Paul playing against the Denver Nuggets tonight. My man Everyday Fantasy says take the under. I got 2 sites that are projecting him to go over. I've got the optimizer saying he's got about a 52 to 53% chance of going over 1.5 turnovers. So somebody's going to be right here, whether you're Don P and you take the under or whether you go with the projections and you go with the plus EV play. Somebody's going to end up being right. I don't know who it's going to be. If I knew that, guys, if I had all the answers, if I had a crystal ball, best believe I'd be on a private island somewhere. Y'all wouldn't be seeing me on YouTube. My money would be tall, like Jordan. King Mont says, yo, CJ, you the man. King Mont, you the man. Happy Flex Friday to you. What other questions do we have here? What are we looking at? 1:04 p.m. Let's get a couple more questions in there. I feel like, you know, today we haven't really come through with too many like plus EV projected well picks here so far. I mean, we got our boy Franz. We got Pascal Siakam. I think Country Boy's saying that Franz Wagner is a last 5 warrior. Yeah, I didn't look beyond the last 5, but you can do that. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. If you go over here to StatMuse and you wanted to get more game logs, you go Franz Wagner, FanDuel points logs this season. If you want to be more specific. And then you can kind of take a look at what Franz Wagner's hit rates have been here. They provide you some bar graphs, some things to look at. But yes, Franz Wagner has hit the over on 29.5 fantasy score in 6 straight games. So he's actually 6 of 6 beyond the 5 for 5 that PrizePicks provides. He is 6 out of his last 6. If we back this up even further here, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's hit the over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of his last 10. That's 70%. Not terrible. So there you go. You guys are asking about Lou Dort. Dort's not even on the board, according to Tweez2Coup. Caesar's asking about Jaren Jackson Jr. Triple J over 1.5 turnovers. 1.5 turnovers. I haven't looked at that one yet. I did like some Jaren Jackson props. Let's see here. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s turnovers. I saw Jaren Jackson's first half prop lines get bumped up earlier today. Let's see if you're liking, or if what you're liking is a good option or not. Again, appreciate the super chat, Caesar. I know I'm not going to get to everybody's question. Again, I'm just one man. You guys got to cut me a little slack. I'm just one guy, one person. I can't get to everybody as much as I would like to. One man with only so much time on his hands, right? That's where the super chat kind of gets you. It's like a fast pass. You guys ever been to Disney before, or one of these big theme parks? You ever heard of the fast pass system? That's basically what super chat is here, okay? Think of it as like a fast pass. You get to skip the line. You get to skip the line and be first. And if you're not first, you're last. Shake and bake. Caesar's asking about Jaren Jackson's 1.5 turnovers here. We've got him as a plus EV play according to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. 51.3% chance that Triple J turns the rock over at least twice today going up against the Clippers, okay? So yes, it does get the stamp of approval as being a plus EV play if you're a PrizePicks player. Now let's get some Jaren Jackson projections to go along with this real quick. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s 1.5 turnover line projected for about 2. You need at least 2 out of them today if you plan on taking the over. And this is a favorable projection suggesting that he will turn it over at least twice. Let's get you one more projection here. Jaren Jackson Jr., we've got him at 1.9 turnovers. So 1.9 to 2 seems to be the projection range for Jaren Jackson Jr. on this line of 1.5. So that's looking pretty good. Going up against the Clippers, especially if Kawhi Leonard plays, one of the better defensive players in the league. You could see Jaren Jackson Jr. potentially turn the ball over twice tonight. Again, plus EV, projecting well on 2 different models. What more can you ask for, man? You're getting your money in good on Jaren Jackson Jr. That's what I can tell you. Let's see. Kath, you're asking about Killian Hayes over on his 6.5 assists. I can't suggest Killian Hayes just yet because I'm going to refresh here, but because he's listed as a game time decision according to RotoWire. I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. He suffered a leg injury late in their 107-106 loss to the Thunder. So he left the game early. I don't know how serious, what the severity of this injury is for Killian Hayes, but right now he is a game time decision. And on top of that, the Pistons, again, they don't want to win games. Killian Hayes might help them beat the Houston Rockets tonight. So I could definitely see them saying, Killian, my friend, you're far too hurt to play tonight. We're just going to rest you and play it safe. I could see them doing that. I mean, they're going against another team that's trying to race to the bottom of the standings. The Houston Rockets are 18-59, Detroit 16-60. Neither one of these teams, if they could both choose to lose, I think they would tonight. But, you can't do that. Somebody's got to win. So I cannot recommend Killian Hayes at the moment because I don't think he's going to play. That's just me. I'm guessing. I don't have any insider information. I just think that the Pistons are going to sit Killian Hayes tonight. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. Mick Finesse coming through with the super chat again. Appreciate the super chats, my friends. He's asking about Benedict Mathurin over on points and Mikal Bridges over on first half fantasy score. Okay. Let's look at both of those real quick. We got Benny Mathurin for the Indiana Pacers. We talked about the Pacers injury situation tonight. We know Halliburton, Duarte, both out. Looks like Buddy Hield's going to play. I'm kind of surprised that he's playing. maybe they don't want to make it too obvious that they're trying to lose games, Indiana. Miles Turner, game time decision. He's the big one for the Indiana Pacers. But yes, Benedict Mathurin, if he decides to go tonight, it looks like he's going to be active and be in there. I think if we get Turner to sit out, then your top two options as far as bucket getters for the Indiana Pacers would be Mathurin and Buddy Hield, flanked by Nembhard and Nesmith and a little bit of Isaiah Jackson perhaps sprinkled in. But yeah, this total at 238.5 seems like the type of game where we could target some overs. So maybe Benedict Mathurin for his prop. You know, that could be a good look here. Let's refresh the Opti again. I want to make sure that we're getting in the latest odds from the latest sports books and stuff. Let's punch in Mathurin's name here. You're asking about his points. We got to first and foremost make sure that it is a plus EV play. We don't want to go against the odds. We want the odds to be in our favor. I got Mathurin at 20.5 points here on PrizePicks, and the optimizer is actually suggesting we go under on his points at 20.5. Mick Finesse. So if you decide to take the over on Mathurin, just know you're going against the grain, going against the odds. The math behind the odds on these sports books would not be in your favor. They're suggesting that he will go under 20.5 points. And there's about a 51.2% chance that that happens tonight. Okay, so it's tight, it's close. Let's go pull some projections for you. Maybe that'll help you out. Mathurin sitting at 19.3 projected points. Now, if Miles Turner's ruled out, you could see this projection and the way that the action's going on this prop. You could see it go the opposite direction. It could flip. So instead of people betting the under like they are right now, if Turner's ruled out, maybe it flips and you start seeing some of that juice come to the over at 20.5 points. So you may want to wait and see what's going to happen with Miles Turner. That could potentially be a deal breaker for you, whether Turner's in or out. Getting you another projection here on his points, though. He's at 20.5 here, projected for just 19.2. So none of these models are really feeling that Benedict Mathurin's going for 21 or more points at this moment. But again, injuries and news, that could definitely change things. But as of 1:13 p.m. Eastern time, Mathurin projecting to go under, being bet under at 20.5. You can take the over, but again, you're going against the odds. You're going against these projections and such. So your other question was Mikal Bridges on his first half fantasy points. Mikal Bridges, our thumbnail player of the game. Shout out to Mikal Bridges. He's in a great spot tonight. He's going up against the Atlanta Hawks. We talked about what a sky-high total is between these two teams. 240 implied points between Atlanta and Brooklyn tonight. He's going to be playing at home in Brooklyn. It's just a 1.5 point spread. I don't think you have to play him as a first half option. If you like Mikal Bridges that much and you think this game really does stay as close as it's implied to at 1.5 points, then you could go full game on him and feel okay. But you are asking about the first half only on Mikal Bridges. So let's do something here. We'll go Mikal Bridges first half FanDuel points logs this season. All right, these 4 games, different color. That was when he was with Phoenix. The rest of these games, gray bars, are Brooklyn Nets game logs. Okay, important to note the difference there. You don't want to look at games when he was still with Phoenix. He's a totally different guy in a totally different situation now that he is a Brooklyn Net. So let's go find Mr. Mikal Bridges. NBA 1H, first half only. Go to the fantasy score section. Go down here, find Mikal. Probably should have just searched for him. I'm getting my scroll on though. Did I pass him? There he is. 19.5 going up against Atlanta tonight. All right, so at 19.5, let's take a look and see how many games since joining the Brooklyn Nets that he's actually exceeded 19.5 first half fantasy score. So he's done so in 3 straight games. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's not terrible. 12 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 12 out of 21, that's better than 50%. You could take this a step further too and type in home because he's going to be playing at home tonight in Brooklyn, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 home games played as a Brooklyn Net. In those 9 games, he's gone over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're asking, what about his splits? Does he play better at home versus? He's 5 for 9 since joining Brooklyn, playing at home at 19.5 first half fantasy score. So what are we going to do with this? Are we going to go over or under? Well, there's not really a smooth way to get a projection for a first half only prop like this one. Here's what I'll do though. I'll go over here to Fantasy Labs. We'll go Mikal Bridges. He's got 41 projected fantasy points. All right. So we take that 41.09. Let's divide it by 2 because there's 2 halves in a basketball game, right? This would give you about 20.5 fantasy score per half. 20.5 fantasy score per half, which is more than 19.5 for those of you keeping track at home. Let's look at another projection here on Bridges. Now they got him at 41. So again, 41.09, 41.0, tomato, 20.5 per half roughly. And then last but not least, let's go Bridges here, and he is projected for, well, they don't have a fantasy score projection. All right. Well, we got 2 projections on him at about 41. So yeah, I guess you would lean toward the over on Mikal Bridges, given the high game total, given the matchup, and given the fact that he's hit this in 3 straight games. I think Mikal Bridges over 19.5 first half fantasy score is a move, but I don't think you have to go first half in this case because this game does expect to stay close at 1.5. All right. So I think that's going to wrap it up. We're a little over our 1 hour runtime. We're running a little bit late today. I'm sorry if I didn't get to everybody's question. I got to as many as I could. Guys, if you're looking for 6+ EV plays that are projecting favorably, go to my channel. Go look at the YouTube channel or the video that I posted earlier today. It's got Jaren Jackson Jr. on the thumbnail, okay? And it says plus EV picks down on the banner below. Go check out that video. There's 6 picks in there that I don't think have been bumped yet. You can go and take one, some, or none of those picks. You can combine them with some of the picks that we talked about here. Siakam, 12.5 rebounds and assists, or maybe Franz Wagner over his fantasy score, or maybe the one we just discussed, Mikal Bridges at 19.5 first half fantasy score. Again, I want to say congratulations to today's winner, Jared Mosey. I don't know if you're joining us here live or if you're catching the replay, but Jared Mosey, you have qualified to win a risk-free 2-pick power play. You get both picks right on PrizePicks. You're going to get $100 courtesy of PrizePicks. Guys, if you want to win like Jared has won one of these risk-free 2-pick power plays and add some money to your PrizePicks account, subscribe to the channel right now. Hit the like button right now. And then once I end this show, the replay gets posted to YouTube. Go to the comment section, comment your favorite pick, prop, or play of the day, or just say, hey, howdy, hi, how you doing? And leave me a comment, okay? And that's how you can get qualified for a risk-free 2-pick power play to win $100 on PrizePicks. All right. Happy Flex Friday, guys. Let's make it count. For those of you in Patreon, Discord, I'll be posting picks throughout the day. Let's continue the hot ride that we've been on. Over 69% hit rate on picks that I've posted to Patreon this month. For the month of March, it's been a very lucky month for us, okay? We'll see you in the next one, guys. Good luck.